Right, so we're gonna watch a one of my favorite YouTubers, Big Herc 916. Let's hear what he has to say today. This video came out today, probably a few hours ago. He's all about motivation, positivity, and he sells fresh gear.
What up, what up? Big Herc 916. Positivity and motivation, man. And I like to keep you laced up. I'm going to put you up on some real game right here. I'm going to tell you how they create an illusional threat.
Who's they?
To take away our freedom. And although the threat
I think we know who they is, but
can be considered somewhat real to a degree, there are elements of the threat that seem falsified or man-made to some degree.
I'd agree with that.
Hyped up. And these elements of the threat aren't usually discovered until maybe years later, where you realize that this is something that was orchestrated.
He's absolutely right.
They do it in prison all the time, man. I was at a particular prison, Sheridan FCI, and this prison, it was a medium. And at the time, this prison was
I wonder what kind of camera he uses.
Kind of had a
Pretty tight.
college atmosphere to some degree, but there wasn't no female, so you wasn't able to go in there and bust no little, cheerleader cheeks or anything like that. But
jeez, Big Herc.
People were doing some pretty positive things, man. They had a very extensive law library. They had music program. They would have concerts on the weekend. They would have different competitions. Had weights.
I would like to see some of those jail competitions.
There was a lot of resources there, which allow people
sure
to keep themselves
that would be pretty entertaining.
rather than focus on violence. And it seemed like
meanwhile,
there's
people
if you want to rehabilitate yourself,
doing some crazy shit in jail too.
Rehabilitation is all about whatever the inmate decides to do. So they brought in this particular warden. They used to call him Charlie D. He came from I want to say Marion. One of the lockdown facilities that was very, very strict, no rule, a lot of rules and very little freedom.
Basically, what I see with a lot of these YouTubers, prison YouTubers right now, is they're comparing to what's going on with the lockdown.
These guys are having way too much fun. The food here is too good. This is too much for guys
and whatnot, or not lockdown. This quarantine to a lockdown in prison.
Just take away the good food, and start giving us crap.
It's been a common theme.
Just start putting up barbed wire. He had to justify it. So this is what this piece of work does, man. This piece of shit. Cold piece of shit too, man. Smile on your face. Cold piece of shit, man. Nothing about this individual, humanitarian-wise, I could see helping anybody. It wasn't about helping anybody. What he does is, prison is full of different gangs, and certain gangs are, designated to have certain facilities, but they coexist with other particular gangs because of just, peace agreements and politics. Well, he did some moving around to shift the balance of power to create strife within the prison, which he knew was going to lead to eventually a riot or something kicking off. These dudes, they play in chess, man. They play in chess with human beings. So
that's what they do in prison.
Someone arrived in the prison, and
it's definitely not right.
It became an issue with
but
another faction.
What do you expect?
And this led to eventually the inevitable, a riot. This riot led to a lot of people getting stabbed and just a bunch of people getting sent to the hole, locked up, just a bunch of drama at the institution.
Okay, Big Herc, what's the point here, buddy?
Hence, we have a lockdown. come out after the lockdown, all the weights are gone, barbed wire everywhere.
Yep. Can't go to the gym.
Different, the little activities gone.
Can't go to the bar and have a drink with my friends.
Turn to shit. No more.
Stuck going to McDonald's and the line's long.
Decent.
I can relate, buddy.
Certain meals were eliminated. Yeah, man. He played chess and he won, but he wasn't done yet.
Ooh, what'd he do?
His second move was to instill fear in all the inmates because, the lockdown.
Well, it was just a riot, Herc.
It wasn't enough. He had to let everybody know who was really in charge.
Which is his job.
A rumor that somebody had smuggled a pistol onto the compound, and he locked it down again. He locked it down, but this time.
Hold on. They just got done lockdown. And then they found out someone smuggles a pistol into the prison. I can't wait to hear what happens next, because it can't be good. This prison probably had all kinds of craziness going on.
And when he locked it down, and while they went from unit to unit doing a search for the weapon, and they had these guys, they were armed on the compound.
Jesus.
With loaded firearms, 9mm Glocks. I don't know what type of semi-automatic rifles they had.
Wow.
Tactical outfits on, ski mask on their face so you couldn't see them, and basically you were locked down. And then as they went unit to unit, they had you come out just your underwear, handcuffed to another inmate, and
that's pretty demeaning.
Flip-flops.
But there was a gun in the prison.
Destroyed your cell as bad as they could, just kicking, destroying stuff, taking stuff, whatever they could do, And this went on throughout the night. I remember we got removed from our cell. It was probably 3 or 4 in the morning. And this is what they did. They terrorized you, man. And he wanted to make sure that you knew that he could do this at will. And after
that's pretty much what Governor Wolf's doing here in Pennsylvania. I'll tell you that much.
Mask on while you're sitting there. They had the guns pointed at you. They when they did go to unlock the cells to semi open up the compound, they made everybody go to breakfast. But when they made everybody go to breakfast, you had to go. They had
breakfast.
The walkway lined with armed guards pointing guns at us. They had guards on the rooftops pointing guns at us. Everybody pointing guns at us. And they told us not to look at them, to look straight. It's like some Guantanamo Bay type shit. I'm quite something similar. I mean, we didn't get waterboarded, but
I don't know about that, man.
Look straight, don't look at them. And,
I've been to Guantanamo Bay, so
they threw them on the ground, handcuffed them, took them to the hole. That was that. You had to go to the kitchen, which was slop, watered down grits with a bunch of butter in it and some type of Danish. See, they attack two things, man. Anytime they want to bring you under control, they attack two things, which are very important. Your health, they took away the weights and basically your ability to work out. And
I agree with that.
Which is your nutrients, your diet. They took away both of those.
I can see how conspiracy
and,
can be related to what's going on here.
No longer
here in the outside, not in jail right now.
Only on the weekends would you get a decent breakfast, but like I said, you pretty much, eggs were like a commodity that was like treated like a fucking cougar ran. Excuse my language.
I just bought
after that incident, they
2 dozen eggs an hour ago.
Go back to the cell.
Can't wait to eat them.
When they opened up the compound all the way, there was nothing left, man.
They took all the eggs.
Try to work out with sandbags.
Smells like egg in here, as a matter of fact.
Sand in them to work out. They would write you up for that. They would, get after you if you seen you working out in groups. The same people who had the guns to you would try to be cool with you like you were their friend. It's like the Stockholm syndrome, man. They wanted you to like them.
That's what cops do. I mean, that's what they get paid to do. They don't not like you.
Game over and over again. nothing new. They do it in prison and they do it on the street. It's just that the people on the street,
Got that right.
in their wildest dreams, never would they think they'd be subjected to it because their life had no reason to even entertain a thought as crazy as what I'm talking about. But this is what they do, man. Prison is a testing ground, and in prison you have guys who have already kind of been.
I agree with that also. I would say the same thing about the military. Social test ground for social engineering. Absolutely.
And that's what they do. That's what they do, man. And like I could vividly see that, man. And me and my homeboy, we talk about it sometimes, who was there with me, how they had the ski mask on, and they had the guns pointed at us, and don't look at me, shut the F up, look straight ahead. I mean, for what? There was never no gun on a compound. That was all a ploy, man.
So that was a lie. There was no gun on the compound.
To basically turn that prison into.
Now, do you know that for a fact?
That's what they did. It turned it into a shithole. Because you're not supposed to have any.
Man, I would have never want to go to prison. Some of the
realistically, they don't want no prison reform. They want you to come out a goddamn animal.
If you watch his video, this is Big Herc 916, but he also has another channel. Oh my gosh. I forget the name of it right now, but whatever. He has another channel where he just strictly talks about it's called Fresh Out, where he specifically talks about a prison and a lot of stories in prison, and he interviews a bunch of people about prison, and it's not a place you want to be, people. It's not a place you want to be, I'll tell you that much. I've never been to prison, but I visited people in prison, and I'd get anxiety just going through the process of being able to get into the prison. You can't just go into prison to visit someone. You have to go there, pre-register. I'm sure they do the background checks, and I got issued a special ID to go in. Big pain in the ass.
They want you to come out an animal and not be able to ever function normally. And if you can,
I don't know if they want you to come out an animal. I mean, a lot of these people are animals going in.
You can never excel beyond a certain point. So, what I share with you is above and beyond what they ever thought was possible. See, I'm not the norm. And I don't push the bullshit. So stay subscribed and stay supporting, man. Stay laced up, man.
We'll support you, Big Herc. Keep us laced up, buddy. Appreciate your videos. Love listening to them.
People talk about what they say.
I can tell you're frustrated right now.
The threats.
We're here to support you, buddy.
Groups to incite riots. How they have certain people that create strife and then turn around and take something away. Every time they do something, they take something away. See what they take away. You got to pay attention. Because they're going to take away something every time. That's the game they play. So, I'm going to keep you laced up, man, because I love y'all,
it's definitely a game they play. I mean, prison is no joke. But right now, I mean, are we in a prison? I mean, is the world our prison? I mean, I just went to the grocery store, bought eggs, and went to Best Buy, bought a few things I needed. I mean, I don't feel like I'm in prison. I'm able to do what I want to do. I can't go to the gym. I can work out at home. It's getting cold out, but I can both bike, cycle, do a lot of things that I want to do. So I honestly, I don't feel like I'm in prison. But Big Herc, I'm picking up what you're putting down, and much love. Love your channel, buddy. Love your channel.